Criminals laugh when you purchase a fake safe from a big box store. There's no better time than now than to visit the safe house and see what a real safe looks like. Rebates now through the end of July on select brands. Our brands include Liberty, Fort Knox, and Browning. Drop by one of our locations or go to NashvilleSafehouse.com. And remember, we don't just sell safes, we sell peace of mind.
My wife and I enjoy going by Yard Sale Inc. We usually go to both locations, the one in Smyrna as well as the one in Murfreesboro. A lot of times on Saturday mornings we stop by, and their inventory changes weekly, so you never know what you're going to see, and it's mostly open box. The name fits it. It's exactly that. It's a yard sale. If you don't totally agree with the price, the staff is always friendly and nice and willing to work with you.
That's the Yard Sale store in Smyrna at 111 Enon Springs Road West, in Murfreesboro at 204 South Front Street, and online at bestdealintown.com.
Hi, this is Allie Dowenhauer with Isaiah 117 House. Isaiah 117 House provides physical and emotional support for children awaiting foster care placement here in Rutherford County. We are changing the way foster care begins, and those kiddos are brought to our house to hang out and wait for a foster family, and they're given everything they need. We support foster children, DCS, and foster families here in Rutherford County. Visit us at www.isaiah117house.com or visit our Facebook page, Isaiah 117 House, Rutherford County.
Hello, I'm Roger, one of the tour guides at Sam Davis Home, 1399 Sam Davis Road in Smyrna. To learn more about Sam Davis, Smyrna's boyhood hero, we offer tours Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. No reservations required. To book a wedding, creek house rental, field trip, or any other event, contact Jenny Lamb, our director, at director@samdavishome.org. Visit our Facebook page or give us a call at 615-459-2341.
Hey, I'm Floyd, and I'm inviting you to join me at CR. That's Celebrate Recovery. We meet at Family Worship Center, 3045 Memorial Boulevard on Sunday at 6 p.m. We're a 12-step Christ-centered program that offers help for all the hurts, habits, and hang-ups that's causing you pain. The program works if you work it, and I'm proof. For other CR groups, go to CelebrateRecovery.com and click on the group finder. Hope to see you soon.
Portions of our programming have been pre-recorded. The Good Neighbor Network, WGNS, Murfreesboro, Smyrna. Flagship station for MTSU Sports. The views and opinions on this show are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of WGNS, its management, other hosts, or advertisers.
This is Conversations with Mike Sparks.
Are you concerned with the state of America, your state, your community? Then you're in the right place. State Representative Mike Sparks. He and guests are here to talk about local politics, history, faith, and freedom.
Right, you listen to Conversation Mike Sparks. I'm your host, Mike Sparks. Hopefully we have a good show tonight. Got a couple of my buddies up here. And before we get into these guys, Connor, how you doing?
Good.
How's school?
That's great.
That's great. Would you graduate 3 years ago? Yeah. Hey, speaking of young people, I want to give a shout out to a guy. I just talked to him, JJ Shine at Crunch Fitness. He's one of the assistant managers. Got talking to him, asked him what he wanted to do to get into maybe clothing, some kind of clothing line, and attends over there at at World Outreach, Alan Jackson's church. So it was kind of, nice to see a young man that's over there at World Outreach, and and all. And also, Roger Thomas, how you doing?
Doing great, man. How you doing?
Doing good. Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah. Oh, I got those headlights. I want you to look at them when we leave.
Oh, did you polish them?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll talk about what it is. Yeah, what you did.
Yeah, but I bought that little kit, and after about 4 hours of work on it, I almost looked new.
Yeah, well, that's the way to do it. They're expensive. Yeah. I went out there. Sometimes I go out there at Express Auto Salvage, the junkyard. Yeah. I had been out there in really a few months. My buddy Tim Tomlin, who sadly passed, started that, and Preston, my oldest boy, used to be his accountant, and I went out there, and I was looking around. And I thought, well, I'm just going to look at some Acuras because he's got an Acura. And, man, I seen the headlights look great. And it was, I guess it was, what's your 05, 06?
Yeah.
So I called him real quick, and I was like, hey, man, it's a beautiful Acura over here. Got some nice headlights, and it was a different model. Yours is a RL,
yeah,
and this one was a TL. But, I like, man, sometimes you never know what you're going to find out there.
It's kind of fun, messing around with cars sometimes.
Yeah. I brought my former assistant, Marvin, young African-American out of Memphis. He had never been exposed to issues like junkyards. He'd never been there. It was funny. He was like,
just a junkyard dog. It didn't come out of Memphis there.
He was like, he said, man, this reminds me of an episode of Walking Dead. He was just tripping out. But he enjoyed it, just a kind of a different life experience just from him being raised up in Memphis. But real proud of that young man. He's now worked for Office of the Courts and going to law school. Nashville School of Law just featured him in their report. But Roger, we had a good time at the tour last weekend.
Yeah, but I'm going to give a quick shout out. We're giving these young men, we're hoping to do great. But this guy right here is Mr. Elijah Avery. He owns the E&A 22 cleaning service, and he's located here in Murfreesboro, and he does commercial and he does, residential. But I'm going to give you a phone number. Like I said, just a really, really great guy.
What kind of cleaning?
I'm so impressed. Just, house cleaning.
Oh, okay.
Office, cleaning, office cleaning, things like that. But 615-423-6436, and Mr. Elijah will take care of you. Elijah Avery, EA 22 Cleaning.
We gotta reach these young people, man. I'm seeing a lot of problems out there. We got a young man that we've known for years. Won't go into detail, but it's just really, really sad. My wife found out about something the other day, and she was crying, and seeing these kids in church and making bad mistakes, man. And it's just, I blame a lot of it on lack of fathers, man. A lot of,
100%.
And it's just, and there's a cost of that to society. It was, you're going to have to build a new jail, $300 million, 400, plus. I was sharing with Scott Walker up here the other day that I was with in budget, House Finance, Ways and Means, and it was TDOC, and I like the guy. I'm not trying to put the guy down. The commissioner, I said, hey, how much is it? Because I was talking about y'all needing relief, and because y'all are full, y'all have a lot of state inmates, and it's costing y'all, and I said, how much is the new prison going to cost us? He didn't have an answer. Oh, no. I was like, I thought, I didn't want to put him down. I was like, man, you don't have an answer. I think you the commissioner, you would know what the answer's going to be. But anyways, they're
not planning.
They're not, man. There's just, but the brokenness that I'm seeing out there in our culture and society, and that's why I'm proud of Marvin, because that article he mentions me like being a father figure to him, and he'll say, remember you told me this like 5 years ago. I'm like, nope. But he didn't, and I'm not trying to put him down, and I don't think he listens. At least I hope he ain't. Man, he didn't even know how to put air in his tire. Yeah, I know that sounds crazy. He never dug a hole. He helped bury my dog. My dog had died, and I wasn't at the house, and he was helping Felicia on something, and my father-in-law come over because my wife was crying, and he went to help my father-in-law. My father-in-law said he never used a shovel or anything before, and but see, I had a father that taught me things, I was exposed to some major walls next door to me, I helped him and stuff, but man, it just seems like it's getting off the charts.
Well, that's like Anthony. Our dads were involved back then.
Yeah,
his dad was Little League, and he benched. Anthony told me a story. He would play him. Then when your dad left, moved up, Anthony started his all-star pitcher.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I always thought him like a pitcher, but he put me in right field, and he always hit the ball over my head. But everybody else, he hit the ball right to him. You know, so I was always on the
tough
bench.
love. Yeah, that's called tough love, man.
Yeah. Well, I was always on the bench, so I don't know how many times I'd go home.
Oh, that was my position, first bench.
But I'd sack up my uniform and say I quit. Oh, it wasn't any quitting. You're on my team.
But we had daddies, you know, that daddies is there, and everybody just about on those ball teams, daddies were there involved.
That's
a
fact.
Yeah.
And there'll be a lot of good kids that come out of there, man. A lot of good kids.
Oh, yeah. My dad and uncle were the first coaches down there in Smyrna.
Really?
They actually started with, you had W. Carter and...
Now, was he the football coach, Laverne, that would hit you?
No, he was a fire chief, wasn't he?
Okay, there was a Coach Carter. Donnie Carter. I'm getting me. Were they kin?
Probably.
I think so.
Were they?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know where Mr. Well, W.E. Carter owned his own business. He was right back behind where Big Brother Barbecue is now. Mm-hmm. He was on that next street back.
Okay.
Yeah, he had a big drive-through driveway going back to his garage, huge garage.
Oh, okay.
Not like Ed's bait shop, a different kind of drive-through.
Yeah, different kind. No, he didn't sell anything, but he bought, I don't know how much equipment he bought for the town of Smyrna as far as
oh, really?
What did the fire chief at one time now? W. Carter.
Rescue squad.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Weren't they killed in an auto accident?
Yes, I think it was on 231 coming back from I believe it was a ball game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
W.E. and
he had head on is what I understood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were real big in a rescue squad.
Right, because I remember they had that big Easter egg hunt over the primary school, and I wanted to go to an egg, and it was like $3. And
really?
Yeah, I was probably 20 years old when I did it. It was all little kids, but I remember W.E. Carter making popcorn. I heard him telling somebody, put plenty of salt, they'll buy Cokes.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Works every time.
Well, I don't even know if I got to introduce y'all. I've got County Commissioner Anthony Johnson, Commissioner Carl Boyd, and both y'all grew up in Smyrna. Both y'all graduated high school in Smyrna, right? Mm-hmm. And now, speaking of fathers, you have a story about is your dad passed?
Yes, he's been dead since 2018.
Yeah. So, do you have a moment you want to share about your father?
Oh no, he was a hard-working man. He worked for Genesco for 40-something years.
Yeah.
He raised us right. I would say that.
Now, where did y'all grow up at?
Across from the high school over there on Prindle.
Prindle. Yeah. What? I used to have a house on Prindle.
109.
Do you remember the German woman in the center?
Yes. On the corner.
No, this one was in the middle. You know, Josh used to do the radio show WTN 99.7. Josh, Josh Carey. He married that Karen girl that was there. Real pretty girl.
Yes, I know who you're talking about.
We bought the house across from him.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I bought it at auction. I was 26, and it was messy, man. I mean, it was rough, and I went and got a good deal on it. Went and got my wife and brought her over, and here she was just 22. I was 26.
How old were you, Mike?
She's 15. I was 19 when we started dating. I have to clarify that. And one day I slipped up on the house floor. I said, I want to, wish my wife a happy anniversary. She was 15. I was 19, and I just, you get a little nervous, So I just ended it with that, and I seen people whispering and gossiping, and then I think it was Bob Freeman, a Democrat, come over and he goes, "Hey, how old was your wife when you married her?" I said, "She was 19." He said, "Man, what you said on the house floor." So I had to get the attention and the speaker. One of the few times the speaker starts smiling because he's going to smile a lot, but anyways, see, I lost my train of thought now. The house.
There's no statute of limitations on that,
Well, I think we were close. Luckily, because I remember one day I was went over at her house, and some house said something about when I turned, I don't know, 19 or something. I followed her. I go, "Son, how old are you?" She was 15 years old. I'm 19. They were cool. They didn't give me no hard time. But no, we bought that house, I did, and went over and got my wife. I said, "Hey, what do you think about that place?" She goes, "Man, that's a mess. That's such a mess." And I said, "Well, we just bought it." And she goes, "What?" She was mad. And one thing I love about my wife, she'll think about something. And it'd take her about 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And then she'll start like, "Oh, okay. Yeah, we could put this here. We can get new carpet. You know, she'll start thinking about it after a while, you know. But Prindle's a nice area.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's relatively still pretty good shape.
Yeah.
I mean,
Who'd you hang out with growing up?
Donnie Carnes, he lived up the street. Andy Murray lived right next door. Mark Troster.
Steve Willie.
Yeah. Spent a lot of time with Steve, probably about every day of high school. Me and him, Dwight Haddock.
Football.
Yeah.
Well, the Kemps owned the house before us. Kemp. Because he worked at Nissan. You remember?
Yeah,
nice guy.
Yes.
Not nice fella. Yeah, I think I was across from didn't the Carnes live? You said they lived right there on the road.
Carnes lived up at the top of that hill on Prindle, right up there at the top. You know, there's a little hill that goes up.
Kind of, you're talking about in the middle?
In the middle, yes.
Yeah. That's probably the people that we were right across there. You know.
Holston's, is that who y'all, was it?
Oh, Kemp was the man that owned it.
I mean, the Karen, you were talking about Karen?
Yeah, is that?
I can't remember their name.
Maybe that, I think
that's been so long ago.
Yeah.
Your wife must be listening.
You don't remember? I can't recall.
I'm messing with you, Carl. Carl's a really good guy.
But Anthony, you know, and you lived up there by Bob's Barbecue.
We did. I grew up on Sullivan Street, which most people have never heard of that because that was before their time. But you know, I'm kind of
off of Bain and West.
No, it's actually turned into Enon Springs Road.
Oh, okay.
We were right next to where Bob's Barbecue is now.
Yeah.
Because the road took.
That's right.
Over half of the property, so it's just a little postage stamp now. But the house was torn down probably 15 years ago.
Yeah.
We played ball in that field many a time over there.
I mean, we go out there and actually dig baselines and all. And Mr. Williamson, Mr. Lonnie Williamson, bless his heart, he never said a word to us. And,
really?
And there's no telling how much feed we cut out of there, you know, from the ball field.
And, you know, that backstop, he was fooling with it one day. We were standing kind of probably 100 yards back watching. And Terry said he was kind of mimicking what he thought he was saying. He was saying, "This has got to go."
Yeah, that's when we moved it up into the corner, up where Bob's Barbecue is now, right in his back door. But we were over there until '69. That's the year I graduated. And, about a month before I graduated, we moved over to Prindle, where Prindle dead ends into the cul-de-sac right there in front of the high school.
Near Miss Campbell. Remember Miss Campbell, the
teacher?
teacher?
Was at the top of the hill
on the corner
as you go down into.
Okay.
Yeah.
She was real sweet.
And you had a younger sister. Was it Penny?
Penny.
Yeah. Okay.
And an older sister, Gladys.
I didn't know her, but I remember the little girl lived right there. And
a younger brother, Terry.
Yeah.
He's 2 years younger than I am.
Yeah.
Now, Miss Campbell's real sweet. My son Preston lives over on Clearview, and we cut through there. And how's she doing? She's still around?
I don't know.
You know?
I don't think so.
I believe she passed.
Yeah, I believe she's
really. What if she's listening right now?
It'd be something to call in. Don't take any calls.
I loved her. I loved her. She caught me cheating one time, and it was accounting. I hated accounting. I thought I was being smart. Had the answers, and I put another sheet of paper. I shouldn't be talking about this on the radio. And I put a sheet of paper over it. Thought I was being smart. It was kind of transparent, and she walked over and stood over me and seen it. Man, she jumped all over me. Man.
Is that when Mr. Rakes paddled you over cheating?
That was a different time. You know what? I got to give her credit. At least she didn't go to Mr. Rakes give me a hard time. No, I wasn't. I wasn't guilty that time.
Oh, he didn't paddle you then.
No, that was another guy cheating off me. Yeah, I told you the story of Mr. Rakes paddling a couple times.
You said you love her, but
he hit me hard, man.
All the guys loved her because they'd be whistling at her going down the hall because she was probably one of the.
No, you're talking about the other teacher. You're talking about Miss Price.
No. I'm talking about Miss Campbell. When she first came to Smyrna High School, she's probably one of the prettiest, if not the prettiest.
Okay.
Teacher
your wife
there,
listening, Anthony?
But I said now, at one time,
High school.
Everybody changes as they get older.
Well, I know. But okay. Now we had Miss Price, and she was beautiful.
I had Miss Price her first year there. Her first year there for English.
Yeah, she's a beautiful lady. I remember we had an intercom that come across, and it said, "If you're the owner of a silver Trans Am, your car is on fire." And all of a sudden you heard like that, and a guy running down the hall that was one of the Waldron guys, one of the Waldron boys. And I think the son somehow like ricocheted off the sun visor mirror from the T-top. So it was kind of one of these weird deals, and it was like smoking up the interior Trans Am. Yeah.
Wow.
Man, we thought that was the funniest thing, hearing that guy run down the hall.
It must have been that leatherette interior, wasn't it?
I don't know. I've seen a nice. Speaking of Trans Ams, I was over at Eric Ritchie.
Oh yeah.
Y'all know Eric Ritchie over at Crusader Automotive Works on Hazelwood.
Yeah, I know where it is.
Nice guy.
Yeah. Go in there sometimes. If he's there, he'll give you a tour. He's got all kind of.
It's a good looking building.
He's got a 63 vet in there, split window vet in there. He's working on.
Well, they're working on a. I guess it's a reality TV show about Route 66. It's
going to run for 12 weeks. I think starting May. Starting in May, 1 hour a week on Thursdays at 9, I believe.
The Great American Road Rally, and.
You want glasses?
Yep. And but anyways, it's Route 66. Y'all ever been on Route 66?
Never have.
For real?
Always wanted to.
Really?
Never have.
I did a little area that Seligman down there in Arizona. My son and I got to go down there and see. Went to the Grand Canyon. Went up there and seen the Hoover Dam.
Wow.
Have y'all been out west?
I've done that.
I've been.
Hoover Dam's.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Mead Lake, we had pictures setting up there on the dam.
Yeah.
We didn't do no damn fishing. No, we didn't have no damn bait to do it with.
Okay.
No, I'm not cussing, man. That's just.
Well, okay.
I know you get it all the time. Mine's
I'm
just.
sorry.
What was that? Vacation.
Yeah.
But,
anyways,
but yeah, man. I did. We did go out there at Hoover Dam, and I think it's what is in Boulder, Colorado. I was out to see my sister Faye. Went to Vegas, saw the Grand Canyon. We camped out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's the 70s. My buddy and his future ex-wife went.
I had we went out there, my son Peyton and I, and man, I tell you what, I always think of Tennessee being the Bible buckle and peace and tranquility. Man, I went out west and it was just peaceful. I mean, and I know people say, well, there's not the density. No, we're in Phoenix. We're in Scottsdale. I mean, Scottsdale's a nice area. I guess it's equivalent like Franklin or Brentwood. Man, the only thing I heard was, I never even heard cops, sirens. I did see an ambulance go down. We stopped in Vegas and stayed at the Luxor, the Pyramid, one night, and came back. And I remember walking down that little area and hearing the ambulance. Man, it was peaceful. I was really shocked because then I get back to Nashville. We had an Uber. There's a terrible accident on Haywood Lane. I mean, it's like a couple fatalities. And I'm like, man, it's a contrast. I want to go back. I've got an uncle out there in Denver, the one I'm named after, who's from Scotland, and I want to go back and see him, Uncle Mike, and he's getting up in age. But man, if you can go out west, just go out there and check it out. It's nice.
Do it while you can enjoy it, and do it because, like I said, I remember going to Flagstaff, and the snow. This is in May. Snow was on the mountains. I never seen anything like that. I'd never been out of probably had never been out of Tennessee, And this is in '76. I was 21 years old. But that was look back at it, man. It just didn't have no money really. Just it's a fun trip.
Yep. It was. Well, I plan on trying to. Like, we just got back from Henry Horton, just something to do, and state parks. I love them, but boy, they get a little expensive.
What it cost you there, old buddy?
It was a little expensive. I mean, I won't say the price, and I was like, man. I told the lady, I said, well, there's a point of diminishing returns. You're kind of getting to where people can go out and see. So, well, we're hearing it from a few people. In fact, the commissioner was in my office the other day, Brian Clifford, because we were talking about the T. There were
the guy that was at it
about the park.
Yeah.
Do you want to elaborate on that?
Oh, the T-Deck guy was out there. Oh yeah, man! He come the old Jefferson tour out there and checked it out, and we got some things kind of working. Permissions to do some. I'm afraid to really talk about it too much, but
well, it's important.
Corps of Engineers going to let us do a little cleaning up, clean the pass. They really strict, but they got a better. As Rick Hall told me, they got a better person now. He just spoke with them, and we're gonna. Maybe get
it's all about
clean it up so we can get the older people back there. We was going through brush and everything else. So.
Yeah, but it's a beautiful area. Toby Francis. Toby's getting, how old is Toby?
88 years old. Yeah.
He's good.
Really?
He went back there twice. He went back there to scout it. Then he came back, him and his daughter and his son-in-law. They went back there twice. And that's a pretty good little hike, wasn't it, Mike? Because it's kind of, my feet were sore. My feet were sore.
Well, I appreciate
Rocky Hill.
I appreciate Commissioner Rick Hall, because there's a couple of areas out there. I was trying to kind of crush some of the limbs that's sticking up, that's kind of sharp, and I thought, man, you get it falls on one of them things, it could be pretty dangerous. So hopefully Rick sees the ones that we're talking about. I think we'll maybe get. I think Rick's going to work on.
And there's a few spots we can actually drive those side by sides right to the spot if we get those trees cut out of the way. It's a few fell across the path. There's just no way to get around it. It's in. It's just so rough. So if they can get that cleared out,
the road bed is still out there.
Yeah, that's what we're kind of aiming at, to kind of get on that.
And y'all probably heard us talk about this. I was telling the commissioner, he come by the office, and I said, look, we really don't have a lot of time on this. I mean, this has got to be just at least look at it. This guy's 95, Charles Jones. We've had Charles on the radio. I know we've talked about.
He was actually going to do the trip.
He
last second. He just had hip surgery in January.
Yeah,
and was 95, and he was at their chili cook-off. He got hurt the night before. He didn't get to come.
Yeah, he failed.
One of our speakers.
But he's like I told the commissioner. I said,
I do remember that. Now.
He grew up in Old Jefferson. He said, Mike, I'll put up $2 million if you can get the state. I'll help. And he's still a little upset of the Corps of Engineers, federal government taking their land.
Right.
And he remembers going down Jefferson Pike, which is now would be Sam Ridley Parkway. He remembers traveling that road before Seward Air Force Base was built. Is that not crazy?
Wow.
I mean, I can't even fathom that. But I was telling the commissioner, I said, because he's kind of looking at me like this is wild. I said, look, you have other proposals, but you don't have this proposal. You don't have these elements of history. The Trail of Tears coming through there, the first African American lawmaker out there, and you've got a private investor who also, who also is willing to contribute. He owns a Milky Way farm out there in Giles County, But anyways, hopefully something positive can come out of it. The guy's kind of a visionary. He owned Hickory Hollow Mall, sold it, owned some of the Rivergate Mall. But he's, like I say, visionary. And speaking of kind of being a visionary, both y'all have been involved with this forensic center. I know it matters to y'all, and it's looking good. I passed by there the other day, and I had to go over and pay my property taxes. We will get into that.
So we pay for the fringes.
Well, she gave me a price, and I was like, and it really was like, ma'am, no, I think you're leaving out another property. And so she gave me the property. But man, it's really looking good.
It is. It is. It's going to be a great state-of-the-art facility. It's needed not only for Murfreesboro and Smyrna, but for Rutherford County.
Is it going to serve Rutherford? Is it going to serve that all around here?
Yeah, we're counties too. We're going to have the ability to do 1,000 autopsies a year.
Awesome, man! That's awesome.
Right now, I think we're doing some 300 and something. A year in Rutherford County, so there's a lot of room to where we can take.
Right, like even some from Davidson.
Oh well, we won't take him from Davidson, but it will be from surrounding counties.
I got you.
I did learn that I think there's already 8 counties that have already contacted us, wanting to sign up. Because they're tired of going to Davidson County and having to wait.
That's where they did my son's autopsy. That's where he passed away. It was in Davidson County.
Right. Well, it's only. It's only place.
2 weeks.
It's the only place around here, and we don't have control of it here. We'll have control of it here.
But Mike spoke about this the other day, and some of these things they have these. Cases that they need an autopsy done, and they're taking so long on it.
Well, I brought it up in committee last. I think it was last year, where it was Department of Health, I believe it was, and I brought this up because I didn't really know a lot of this until I was meeting with some ladies. It's mainly African American mothers, and it's called Mothers Against Murder. And it's the beautiful church over here by Siegel School. I forgot the name of that church. Beautiful church, maybe a Methodist church. I think
First Methodist.
Is that? I mean, gorgeous church.
My daughter was married there.
Yeah, and I appreciate that church opening up to these families. And And I just thought I'd listen and just see if there was any need for me to be there, what I could do. And there was a detective there out of Murfreesboro. He was very compassionate to them. And the ladies were like, well, we know who, one of the mothers said, we know who killed my son. And I'm thinking, okay, how come no one's being prosecuted? And the detective said, hey, the autopsies, there's such a backlog. And I was like, oh, wow.
That's an awesome point because, you through our investigation and interviewing people for trying to find out if this is the right thing for Rutherford County or not, the Forensic Center, we talked with Miss Denise Martin, and you can just see the zeal,
the passion,
passion is there. And you talk to all these to Carl Hudgens, who was a former in that department, and they really wanted. But what really opened my eye was when I had a conversation with Rick Hall, and when we started talking about the Forensic Center, you could see him light up because he's a former detective, and he knows what it's going to mean for these investigations.
Yes.
And I got a niece that used to do that. She's the only thing they couldn't do was the one that required the coroner, something that was like a murder. They couldn't do those, but she used to do that. Faye, my sister Faye's daughter. And she does live in, I think, Lebanon now.
Right. Well, one thing I was glad with y'all, and you gave a passionate speech, and so did McAdoo. And Mayor Carr did a good job. One thing I was proud is just all y'all coming together, everybody working in sync for a good cause, and it looked like y'all all come together and getting this done in an efficient manner. But when you hear these mothers, crying, man, that's what really plays on you. And I wish I knew that detective's name with Murfreesboro, because
I know one of them. I know Michael Yates. I don't know if it's him or not.
I don't know who it was that was out there. But man, the violence, and because here's what people don't realize. You see, it's like that guy that was killed, the young musician Kyle Yorlett. I call him guy wink moments, and I see where he was killed with a stolen gun by two young, like 15-year-olds in Nashville. And for some reason, I just went to his funeral. I just felt led to go to his funeral. I'm sitting there at the back of the funeral. I thought, Lord, it's just strange I'm here, but I know you got me here for a reason. And it was a few weeks later, I got asked to carry the bill, the gun safe bill, locking up guns, the tax cut, which is an incentive to lock up your guns, which I'm proud of the bill. The bill never passed for 3 or 4 years, and I thought, man, this is a no-brainer. So I started calling people to get them to help me, and I was like, that's the reason I'm there. And I shared that story with Budget, and Democrats and Republicans spoke up, and we know gun safe sales have went, I don't want to say through the roof, but it's helped, right. that incentive right there. But here's what people don't realize: to lock up them two juveniles, it's expensive. People don't realize it's like $150,000 a year to incarcerate a juvenile. Let's say they had 5 years. I mean, you're looking at $1 million. And nobody, that's what frustrates me. Nobody seems like they're really studying the cost to try to change these lives and help them with young people.
That's one thing that's coming up for us. We've got to, we're looking at building a juvenile detention center and the whole court system for the juveniles, because they're maxed out over there where they are.
Well, I remember being on public safety. You may have been public safety with me there then, and what's the girl that's over public the juvenile? Lynn.
Used to be Lynn Davis, but I don't think.
And it was we get that report, and it'd be a few juveniles. But remember, Rutherford County was smaller. You'd see a few juvenile report, and you'd have a few girls, and all of a sudden next month you have another girl, and it started climbing. You remember that? And it's like it was like a little trend happening, and I don't know if that was any correlation with smartphones or anything like that, but man, it just seems like it's gotten worse. How much is that going to cost? Y'all know, juvenile detention facility?
We just put it out for a bid for the design, architect and design, so we don't know what it's going to cost yet.
No, but I think, and moving the convenience center, it looks great, and appreciate all y'all and what y'all have done over there.
Well, hopefully, Sometime next month, we should have a third lane put in over there. It won't be three lanes coming in the gate, but when you get to the curve, once you come in, then you'll have 3 lanes, and you can go up and disperse into the 5 lanes or 6.
Oh, when you still come in the same entrance?
Still come in the same entrance.
Okay.
I tried to get the gate widened, but we compromised and we went up to the curve, that's going to help a lot.
Yeah. Well, y'all improved it with that lane last year. Widening it, coming in. Had a big mud pile on the right.
Oh, that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do.
It looks a lot better.
Yeah, I asked for the third lane, and we got a pile of gravel dumped out there, and that was it. But the mayor got on board, and some other people got on board, and really.
Well, man, it's all about working together.
We have signs ordered. In fact, they're going out all over the county. They're putting up new signs at the convenience centers.
Yeah, so we kind of need them.
Know what they're doing. Yeah,
but I mean, even the recycling's improved. You know, and one of you're still on the senior board, Smart Activity Board.
Yes,
you're still involved.
It's called SAC now. Senior Activity Center.
Yeah. How many members y'all are up to? What?
We're I think it was 849 last I heard, and we're still climbing. But we're in we've got a building campaign going on right now. We're not in the building process yet, but Dow Smith's done a tremendous job on beautiful rendering of the new building. But that's going to be across from the Stewart's Landing on Sam Ridley.
Yeah.
If you're familiar with that, but right before you go over Murfreesboro Road and the tracks, there's a rock bluff on your right, and there's a little cut through, and the police set up there a lot.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to be basically where the building will be, but it'll be back. You won't come out that way.
Does all that have to come out?
A lot of it will. We're going to have, I think, a 6-foot wall behind the building.
Okay.
Between us and Sam Ridley.
Yeah. Did Bob Spivey own that prior? Do you know? Bob
Spivey, his group still owns. His family still owns, I think, an acre over there.
Okay. Well, I'm going to put a budget request in and try to help y'all. Say a prayer, because it's hard to get budget requests. We were able to get $250,000 last year for the cemetery school to try to rebuild that. The seniors, that comes through Department of Disability and Age and Commissioner Brad Turner. But what was sad was that under Fran's leadership and y'all's board, it's so successful that there's other areas that have more needs, so it's like it didn't really fit that metric because they were trying to go after the areas that needed the most. And but I put a budget request in. We'll get Robert Stevens to sign on, Charlie Baum, and some others, and just plead the case. And the worst they can say is no.
Our new building we're going to build, we've got a little over $3 million raised now. We've gone to Christy Houston. We had a group go to Christy Houston either last week or the week before, so we'll see what they'll do for us. We're still taking every penny we can get, donations. But
I told Fran, I said, you hit Marty up and name an outhouse after Marty Lump, and he'll donate. And I hope Marty's listening. I'm serious. He probably would. I mean, you do something crazy, Marty would probably be like, yeah, I'm in on that game. You do a standard donation, he may not participate.
Well, not only we're raising money for. Of course, we're constantly raising money because we've got to, maintain the building and all too. But it's $200,000 a year right now just to maintain, to keep the lights on and all. I'm not saying we're doing.
Now, what happens to the existing facility? What's the plan for it?
I suppose we'll sell it. Don't know yet what we're going to do. I mean, that's something we're going to have to decide. But
Smyrna Museum.
Pretty sure it'll be sold.
Yeah. Well, she's working hard. She won my chili contest.
Oh, she works very hard. She did.
She won the contest. Did y'all make our chili contest?
Yeah.
Cook off. Yeah. She won it. Yeah,
Great.
She won it. Yeah. I think she was the Mayor Esther Reed's choice. It was the mayor's. I call it the Mayor's Choice, Mayor's Cup, and and she must make a mean bowl of chili. And then my buddy Scott Butler, his wife Shari, Patsy Brown's daughter.
Yeah.
You know Shari? Beautiful girl, sweet girl. And she's like, Mike, that's the only third time I ever made chili. But that's what's interesting about this contest is the people that don't really cook end up like winning.
Yeah.
That's what's kind of neat about it, Yeah, state employees, they took first place a few years ago. Marsha Blackburn's group, guy, he entered. He was supposed to be her recipe. So they say, and he took second, and then Sandra Butler, my buddy Kelly Butler's mom, took third. We're looking at maybe a potential EMS center in Smyrna.
Yes, we actually put out for bid the architecture and design for that too.
That'll be
next to the forensic center.
Oh, cool!
It'll be. We're doing a complex there. We've got the County Court Clerk's building. It's been there for several years. We've got G Street Convenience Center, which is right behind the County Court Clerk's building.
Yep.
Then out front, to the right of the County Court Clerk's building, we've got the Forensic Center, and then back to the left of that will be the EMS station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you born? I was born right there at the base, right? The old base. Y'all remember the hospital? I don't hardly remember it.
I remember it being out there.
Yeah. The being born out there. A lot of history out there. Remember the old Smyrna Country Club?
Yep.
Did y'all swim out there?
No,
I did a couple of times.
Did you go out there much, Roger?
No, I did after it was a country club.
Man, a lot of fun memories out there.
Yeah.
I'll hear an old Eagles song, just tasting back to the country club. And, Bill Ketchum was I think a bartender there. I hope it's okay to say he was a bartender. Trish Nash was a lifeguard. Joe Walls, and a lot of fond memories there, man.
Back behind the hangars, they had the Smyrna beach.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the beach, man.
That was really nice. And then, for some reason,
so you remember they had the snack bar and everything?
I don't remember. I didn't remember the snack bar.
There was a center. There was a little building there.
Yeah,
I remember that building. but I don't ever remember it being open. No, it was actually a built building. I mean, it was a wood structure, wasn't it?
Yeah, a little snack bar. Man, they say the sand was brought in from Panama City Beach. Is that true?
It was shipped in from somewhere in Florida, is what I heard.
On C-130, is that right? Man, what if anybody has any photos of that, any of that kind of stuff coming?
Oh, we had a Boy Scout camp out there when I was in Boy Scouts.
If you go to YouTube, type in Smyrna, Tennessee Beach. We made a video. We're out there doing a radio show, Brian Barrett and I just kind of videoed it. It don't look the same. You don't even know it's a beach anymore.
Right.
It's just all grown up now. It's all grown up.
Yeah, it's grown up.
I remember I lost a beach ball out there. I was like 3 or 4. Man, I was crying. I can remember like yesterday. I was like trying to get people to go out there and get my beach ball. And I watched it float away, and it was just broke my heart. But a lot of good times out there, man. The times were different back then, wasn't it?
They sure were.
Yeah.
Sure were.
What'd you guys do for fun?
I was always, if there wasn't a ball in my hand,
playing ball.
Yeah. I mean, when I was born in Mississippi, and the first 10 years of my life were in Mississippi, and I was telling my granddaughter the other day, and I was trying to think back. What got me thinking about was her tennis shoes she had on.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I don't ever remember wearing shoes when I was a kid. We went outside. We went outside and played.
Yeah.
From the sun up to sundown, and. Came back in and
they say that's good for you though, going barefoot.
Oh yeah,
I mean you've heard that.
I never could.
Really?
No,
I could now.
Well, my daughter-in-law, who's a Vanderbilt nurse, she was out there. My little grandbaby Grace, and she was barefoot, and then Grace was barefoot, and we got talking about that. They say it's supposed to help like some grounding or something,
I guess it'd be more natural than anything you could do.
That's what I'm told.
It's pretty tough, though. You could walk across pavement and you could actually Well, gravel, not so bad if your feet are ready to beat in.
Yes.
Well, if a gravel touches my foot, I'm down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gone.
I remember being over at Sally Wall's house, Major Wall's. We played over. I was barefooted. I stepped on some bumblebee right there at the corner, and man, that hurt.
You're talking about grounding, though. They sell grounding plates that you plug it in, you step on it, and it's
serious.
It's the same result as you were talking about grounding. It's good for your. It's like the electricity flowing.
This ain't one of them snipe hunting stories, is it?
No,
let's go snipe hunting.
No, it's true. Because I've got a motion board that I get on every day, and for my circulation and everything. And I mean, like 15 minutes on it's equivalent to like 2 miles walking as far as what you get out of it. So, and then I started seeing these grounding pads that you get, and of course I bought one similar. I couldn't feel it though because of my circulation so bad now in my feet. So.
Well, man, I'm gonna tell you, I mentioned on the house floor last year. I see a lot of chaos in Nashville. I see it locally sometimes. See it sometimes in some other areas, school board, and and I said, look around. Next year, it's gonna be 1 or 2 people ain't returned. We lost a lawmaker last year, Jeff Burkhart, great guy, pretty quiet fellow, nice guy. Then we lost Representative Beck passed about 2 years ago. Thelma Harper passed. I've seen a lot of people pass away, man. So you got to take care of your health.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Well, that was his dad.
Who was that? Oh yeah, Bob Freeman's father passed, and that was it's just sad. When you get older, it's just going to more funerals. I called Bill Ketcher the other day to check on him on something, and he was on the way to a funeral. It's like almost every weekend. Now y'all want to get into talking about some solid waste issues?
Yeah, we last year we opened up the new transfer station, which you take the trash out there and dump it. We have surrounding counties coming in too, as well as waste management. They and a sister company actually run it, but we take all the trash out there and dump it on a floor in a beautiful building. And in fact, it's the nicest and best built transfer station they'd ever seen in the industry. So that said a lot for us. But they dump it out there, and then they take the like a front end loader or some machine and push it over into a hopper. It compacts it into these long tubes. They're trailer trucks, but they're tubes. And then they just shut the door behind it and haul it off. I can't remember.
No, years ago,
I think
Mac, you remember? I think you probably we did a tour up there in Nashville. And he carried us out there on that tour. You remember? It was like a sorting facility in Nashville. It was sorting. It was machines that would put all, and it would recycle the plastic and it would pull the metal out. Do you remember being there?
Alejandro.
Yeah, like in there.
That's waste management. That's our trash now. Transport's our trash, but it's like I think $70 a ton it costs.
Well, Brian Terry was on with us a couple weeks ago, and I talked to Shane McFarland. He was saying that it's gotten on that lawsuit that it's getting so high. It surprised me when he said it that they're worried about the flight path with the birds and the vultures being if it keeps climbing. I mean, I was like, whoa, that's how high this thing is getting.
You ever been to the top of it?
No, but Shane, Mayor McFarland showed me a video last week or week before last where I guess he was flying over and the birds were right there under him.
Our old dump is right next to that, and you've got a V between it. Well, that V, there's I guess an updraft, and those vultures come up through there. And when you're on top of ours, and I was standing out there, and these vultures and other birds too, but these vultures would just like come up that I forget updraft, and they're like right in front of you. And these things are huge.
Really?
I mean, you see them on the side of the road, doing their thing, and thank God we've got them to clean up the roads. But my goodness, you don't realize they're so big until they've got those wings flapped out right in front of you. Like boom in your face.
Well, I know it's a huge issue. Years ago, Road Board member Keith Pratcher, and I love Keith. Keith always worked so hard for our county, and he had called me. They weren't cleaning up the road line. This was about 5 years ago, and I just happened to go out there, and I see a truck on the side of the road with a hole in the windshield. And I pulled over the street sweeper, was sweeping, I rolled the window down and said, hey, man, how often do you come out here? Because, the complaints Keith was getting, and he was telling me, and the guy was like, well, we're out here like every day, except weekends. I said, what happened to that truck over there? And he said, I don't know. He didn't want to say it. And he said, go talk to that guy in the orange vest or green vest. And so I pulled over, and this guy says, hey, Mike, how you doing? And I look over, and it was a guy I went to school with, Keith something. He played ball, big ball player. And he had a big cut on his neck. Man, that rock came off a truck. And I guess the guy didn't shut his curtain when he was going across the road, so it threw this rock off. Must have been the size of a baseball. And it come through the windshield, hit his dash, hit the steering wheel, bent the steering wheel. This is a true story. Grazed his neck. And went out the back window. They never could find the rock. And I called Jimmy Hart with Day News. I said, dude, you need to cover this. There's an old picture. Google this. And they fixed, all fairness to Waste Management, they fixed his truck, got everything right. And they went back and looked at the camera. They could see that rock coming down. But, they have that area where it's supposed to shake the trucks, and then shut that curtain.
Right.
And but I was like, dude, if that would have moved an eighth of an inch or a quarter of an inch closer, he'd been a goner. But it was so weird that I just happened to be out there. I was vice chairman of transportation at that time, and I went back because we had committee later that day. I was so, not shook up, but I was telling the whole committee about this. Like, man, this guy was with a couple of hairs of losing his life because of somebody being irresponsible like that. Now, how many years? This is your second go around on the county commission.
I was on the county commission for 17 years, and then I was not there for 12, and I've been back going on 4 now. So I've got over 20 years.
You like serving?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Carl,
why I came back.
Yeah. Carl, you like serving?
I love it.
What's the biggest headache?
I haven't really had one.
Working with me.
No.
Y'all sit beside each other?
We sit beside each other.
Yeah, that's good.
We do good over there.
Yeah. Well, like in Nashville, usually people you sit beside, sometimes you kind of get to know them a little bit. How's your family? And Justin Jones, was a protester. He sat behind me. But you know what? We got along. We just get along. It was funny one time. I think I'd done a ride along with the sheriff's department, and I was like, hey, I said, Justin, you ought to do a ride along with the troopers, and he said, Sparks, I've done 12 of them or 14. I was like, how could you do 12 or 14 ride alongs with Highway Patrol? You know how he did it?
Oh, he was in the back
of the patrol car, and I was like, "Oh my God!"
He was in the back seat,
and I said, "Man, it was like so crazy because I was serious. Hey, you need to go do ride along with the police and learn what they go through." And I said, "I'll tell you what I'll do, dude. I'll give you $100 if you'll share that on the floor." He goes, "No, but you can, Sparks." And I was going to do it, but sometimes.
They may take it the wrong way.
Other people don't think like I think.
Right.
Me and him get along, and in fact, somebody asked him about a vote. It was something to do with Murfreesboro, and the guy told me, he said, "Man," he asked me, "How are you going to vote?" He said, "Sparks good with it. I'm good with it." Good. Sometimes kindness goes a long way.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hatred and bitterness out there, brother.
Yeah. A whole lot.
You gotta get over that stuff, man. But y'all have always been good. I've never seen, I've never seen y'all butt hurt over anything.
Well, you never watched very much.
Not to me. Y'all have always been nice.
We've never had any issues with you. But
I'm just going to come out there and get one of the big giant things of popcorn. Like right there.
You mentioned earlier the jail. We're looking at having to build a new jail because it's 800 capacity. Not really 800 capacity. They've stretched it to that.
Yeah.
The way it is 800 capacity, but they're hitting 1,000 plus every day now.
Yeah, and that's why our leader, when I brought up Rick's, I quoted Rick verbatim with TDOC in our budget, and our leader said, we're probably going to have to be looking at building a state prison.
Yeah.
And that's expensive, man.
But we have prisoners they need to take, but they don't.
Well, I get calls, somebody's got issue with Core Civic. In fact, I asked the guy today, it was, they do the credits for, I think, Corrections Institute, and I said, who who does a better job? And I just asked him. And the guy said, Core Civic or the state? He says, oh, the state does.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. I mean, that's a news story right there, but sadly the media don't pay attention. They love drama.
Right.
You know, you talk about a transgender, bam, that's a headline. You say something off the cuff that's anything political, that's a headline. But you talk about real solutions, they ain't paying attention to that. That's right. But we got to reach these young people, man. You know, because you look at these kids, I worry so much about my grandbabies. Because y'all got grandbabies, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How many grandkids you have?
Got 2 granddaughters and 5 great-grandkids.
You got great-grandkids?
Oh, yeah.
How old a fella are you?
I'm only 74. I'll be 75 in July.
How many grandkids?
I've got 2.
2?
Yes.
But don't you think grandkids change your way you look at life?
Oh, yeah.
Changes everything.
Grand.
Why do you think that is?
You know, I that's a good question. That is a real good question, but they're the amazing gift from God. It
really is. You know, we hear it when we're younger. You know, like Jeremy's age, Connor's age, and it's like, hey, look at my grandbabies. You know, we always made fun of that, but now when you have grandbabies, now you see it.
Yeah.
You know, I worry what the future is for them. I mean, who'd ever think that young people? We've got one of our stylist daughters looking for a house. We've been praying for her. She's having to drive to. Looking at a house. I think it was today or maybe Monday. Putting the contract on it in Lyles, Tennessee. Moving that far away to be able to buy a home. You know, and see, Mr. Jones, he's told me, he said, Mike, you find me some property. He wants to do like a workforce housing development, but I've told Amy Mabry, James Yates, and some others that it's like, man, it's just hard to find property.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna need housing for nurses and correctional officers and police officers and and other EMS employees, and we're gonna have a day of reckoning here pretty soon.
That's a fact.
It's happening right now. You know. Yeah. Anything? We got 2 more minutes. Y'all got anything you want to, event?
Everybody. Did Jeremy do a
fundraiser for seniors?
He wasn't there.
This is an event. We'll talk about what this is going on to raise money for the Senior Activity Center.
Yeah, it's called the Sidemen of Note. It's featuring music of Garfunkel, Manilow, and Campbell. They've got Tab Lavin, which is 24 years, guitarist of Garfunkel, Eddie Kilgallen, award winning singer and songwriter. He was with Montgomery Gentry for years.
And that's going to be at Senior Center?
Yeah, it's going to be...
I heard him play
it's going to be a Williamson family farm.
Okay.
Yeah, and the date...
Oh, yeah. The old Grove.
Yeah, Old Grove.
Yeah, beautiful area.
The date is March 16th. And, you can go online and buy tickets, or you can go down to the Senior Center and buy them.
Get it for friend.
The tickets are $60 a piece, because we'd love for people to do sponsors. We've got $10,000, $5,000, $1,000. You get
step up.
Seats and VIP with the group, but it's going to be a great event and raising money for our capital campaign.
Right. Thank you, Connor. Thank you, Commissioner Carl Boyd, Commissioner Johnson, sir, and Roger. Thanks for helping organize this, folks. We'll see you next week.